Hi, guys. Welcome to X Convos. This is your girl, JERUSHAH, and I'm so excited to do the third episode. I got a delightful little episode for you guys. One I think you're going to resonate with because personally, I feel like we are on this journey together, and I feel like I got my own little community of people coming in. So stay the course with me, guys. Don't leave me hanging. There's a lot of changes that have happened most recently. And one of them is that I'm solo dolo. That's right, guys. Me, myself, and I are going to be fully focused on you and your growth to better support you in this journey as a growing entrepreneur and as a creative. And I want to be the hub. I want you guys to come in, listen while you're doing your makeup, cooking your meal, whatever it is. I want you to feel like you got somebody who cares about your journey. And I want to cater to that. I want to serve you because I feel like in service, we really truly open and we really reveal our calling. We really define who we are and what's aligned with us. And I really truly think if you found this, you're in line with me, guys. You're in line with this journey of getting closer to your highest self. So what is the topic? What does episode 3 have in store for you? Well, I want to touch base on this simple concept. The initial versus the intentional. And what does that even look like? What does that even entail? Well, for me personally, this all comes into a full circle. I think when I look at the initial of doing this podcast, I really truly thought I was supposed to be perfect. I really truly thought I was supposed to be so well-rounded so I can have a really well-versed concept and production ready and cut action towards you guys. I didn't want the process because I feel like the process means a lot of blips and a lot of like, I don't really know. And I didn't want to come across as not collected or unsure. I initially wanted to perceive this whole journey as something that boosted my ego, boosted my persona, that girl who, can't help but find and define the platform. As a singer, as an actress, as a speaker, as a motivational speaker, whatever it is, I wanted to define the ultimate version of myself. But I want you guys to understand where I've come from, where I started as a creative. And then we can kind of go through the story of how I came here right now, right here with you. So a little bit about me is that I started my journey as an actress. Yeah, that's right, an actress. I studied for years. I did radio broadcasting. I did voiceovers. I did physical theater. I did it all. I wanted to be that actress on the screen, like the classic Hollywood films. I wanted so badly to be the next Marilyn Monroe, the West Side Story. I was so theatrical naturally that I thought, well, of course, this is my passion and this is supposed to be who I am and I identify with this, so I'm going to follow it. So what that entails is that I had this beautiful unfolding of opportunities that kind of presented themselves, and I was so curious about them that I initially had an expectation that they would bring me to another level of understanding of who I am. And so it was kind of funny because when I first started acting, I was like, oh, I heard about this high school that, you can major in a elective, a creative field while doing your credentials, to graduate. So that means science, whatever, math. And then you could do maybe dance or you could sing or you could act. And I never really had training around singing. So I was like, got to rule that out. I never had training with dancing. And so I didn't want to try to attempt when there's people who did contemporary jazz modern since they were 3. And so I stuck it out and I was like, I'm going to do acting. I'm going to audition for this high school and get in and be an actress. The only blip in my growth down this path is that I would have to struggle with reading and writing because I suffered from severe dyslexia. And that's the frustrating thing about wanting a dream unfold and then knowing that maybe it might not happen because you don't think you're capable enough, or you don't think that you're smart enough, or you don't think that you can work on the time period that this opportunity had presented itself. And so, oh Lord, I still persisted to continue on this journey. I told my mom I wanted to audition, and she got all the documentations. I had 1 week. I was actually a week behind all the other people, all the other applicants, and I had to learn 2 monologues. The issue about that is that I couldn't read. So how am I going to learn these 2 monologues? I asked my mom to recite the monologues, and I would repeat every sentence to remember it. That's right. It took like days of constantly doing the same thing in the kitchen. She'd be, reciting something, I would repeat it backwards. And by the end of the week, till the day of my audition, I had remembered every single word, every phrase, every nuance in those monologues, which is a big deal. On the day of the audition, I'm ready to enter this room, and I'm nervous. I don't necessarily think this is going to work out. I just knew that I was supposed to be there. And so I perform the 2 monologues, and I'm looking at these 2 older teachers behind this desk, looking at me with excitement and, in awe, because I really done it. I had tears. I was doing a comedic monologue, and I made them laugh, and I thought I nailed it. And there was some static, a little pause, a little beat, and I can feel the but coming. And they looked at me and they said, "Well done, JERUSHAH. It was a great performance. You're very talented, and we could see that you're very passionate about this, but your grades do not reflect our standard of academia. Our average in all classes must be a 70%, and we can see that you meet below that. And so we don't know how your potential will be going forward into this program." My heart sunk. I felt everything. I felt the emotions of feeling that I should be here, but they just said that it's not possible. I was disqualified before I even started. I was like, how? Like, I've given you what you wanted. You got the 2 monologues, despite having dyslexia. You got the performance because I wanted it. I had the passion. I had the natural ability. I'm meant to be here. And I'm crying and I'm begging. I'm outraged because I'm frustrated with myself, because it's so foolish of me to think that I potentially could be in a school that could see this natural ability and want to take a bet on me. I was so stupid to think that they would see that I could be that person that could exceed all their students who have been there year and year before myself. And they said that their response will come in the mail in a couple weeks. So I had to just wait. I just stood there, and I was like, my last impression, just give them a smile. I wiped my tears. I smiled. They took a Polaroid so they could remember me. I gave a nice little, cheeky little pose, and I exited that room. And my heart sunk, because when you know who you are, you hope that people would see that. The initial is the expectation of people knowing how to love you, knowing how to see your potential, knowing where you would end. And you have all these expectations, these ideas, these agendas, and doesn't equate to your outcome. A couple weeks went by, and the letter came in, and oh my gosh. Of course, I can't read it. I don't know how to read. So I bring it to my mom, and I'm like, unfold it, read it real quick. Let me know. I know I didn't get in. Just let me know right now. And she reads it. And lo and behold, I made it. I got in. And that was the start of something that just opened up so much in me. And the reason why is because that school definitely changed my life. It showed me I was more than capable of dedicating so much time into unfolding my expressive self, my creative self. And it was so much more than the initial. so much more because it became intentional. It became a path that I want to unite with and express myself fully with no limitations. The reason why I'm telling you guys this story is because I want you to understand we all have our initial beginning, our initial expectation, our initial honeymoon stage of the process. And this kind of defines whether we're going to stick it out or we're going to quit. This is the defining moment where we transform into the intentional stage. And I understand that, it's not going to be perfect. It's never supposed to be perfect. What it is supposed to unfold yourself into an understanding of why you desire or why this was an attraction, why this is something that you really wanted to pursue. And I know there is sometimes a not really understanding why you do the certain things that you do or why you're attracted to this, certain things that you pursue. But for me, the reason why I initially thought theater was for me is because there's such a liberation, a true expression of self. And it started to unfold in all the things that I was drawn to over the years, whether it be singing, whether it be poetry, whether it be songwriting, whether it be people and relationships, networking, whether it be fitness, whatever it was, I knew that expressive, that freedom, that liberating moment of, okay, I had the initial draw. Now I'm intentionally doing this in everything I do. It's not just subconscious, it's conscious now. And so what I really think can benefit the process a lot more is cutting out the initial stage, the honeymoon stage when it comes to your process, when it comes to your business, when it comes to your ventures, when it becomes so instinctive that we're like, I'm intentional with everything. I don't really have honeymoon stages. I feel like we need to get to that place because right now, this coasting, this autopilot of, I'm just curious and getting drawn in and then getting disappointed is ridiculous. We don't have patience for that. We don't have patience for that. We don't have time for that. You can always waste your time trying things because you were like, oh, you know what? He was cute. And I was like drawn to him. And I think he was like wonderful to pursue because he had certain qualities that I liked. Like he treats his mother really good. And I really want to be a part of his life because I feel like he would be a great father. You know what I mean? So when you're drawn to this relationship and you're like, he has all the checklists on my list. And then now you're intentionally pursuing him. And then you realize, oh, hell no. He is not the father type. Oh, hell no. This is not the guy for me. Abort mission, abort mission. You realize, okay, this is not for me and I'm going to dip out. So you just wasted so much time rather than on the first date, I saw clearly this is not the person for me because I intentionally went on the date. I intentionally got certain data from just being around him that I realized this is not going to work out. The same goes for your venture. Same goes for your business. If you realize that you're like, I'm putting all this energy in. I bought all this stock. I'm going to put it on an Etsy shop. I'm going to put it on Amazon and I'm going to make so much money. There's your initial agenda. And then 2 months later, you're not getting a cent of what you put in. Why the hell would you do it? Like, why? And then you realize I wasted all this time and I never got to, spend time with my partner. I never spent any, time with my children because I was so caught up in this moment, this initial agenda. I want you guys to be more self-aware. It's great to jump on things. It's great to be impulsive. Hell, it spices up life a little bit. But what it does, it also produces this habit, this characteristic in yourself where you just impulsively take these leaps of faith. You put all the work in and then you get disappointed when it doesn't come through because of what? Because it's not aligned with you. It's not in line with your journey. People just take on things. They're so flaky. You have all the resources. You have all the insights on who you are. I'm doing this podcast, but let's be honest. I started many years ago being an actress. I started many years of investment, money and time. I'm not on television or anything, but now all of a sudden I'm doing podcasts, I'm talking to creatives, I'm making creative materials so they can expand themselves, they can have financial freedom, so they can get to a place where they're now investing in their passion projects. They have a direction. And before, when I was figuring out all this stuff, I didn't have a direction. I was just trial and error, trial and error. And trial and error takes a lot of fucking time. That's what it does. And I believe if we become intentional versus the initial agenda, the initial expectation, we get to a place where we start unfolding rapidly. I'm getting the results because I know that intentionally when I go on the diet, when I intentionally work out, within a week, 2 weeks, 2 months, I'm going to start seeing results. I'm going to start seeing results. Because intentionally, I made that something that I want to be in line with my destiny right now. It's so doable, guys. It's so doable. And I want you to not get discouraged from this process because guess what? We're not perfect. We're not perfect at all. And it's not about perfection. Right now, I have no clue what I'm doing. No clue. And being solo in this process is scary as fuck. It's scary as fuck. Doing everything that I do now, I don't got family. I don't got, external resources other than the resources up in my mind. And I intentionally access them every day. That's the true abundance that's in you. And so in this process, I want to stick with you. I want to make sure that you guys have all the material and the support and the community that you can access as a building entrepreneur and a creative. I want you to understand that I'm only here to speak to the creator in you. I want you to create the reality that you see fit for yourself, whatever that looks like. And not impulsively, not an initial expectation that you can't fulfill, that you can't access, or that, is fleeting. It's a great success, but you can't maintain it. You're like, wonderful, I got $1,000 or I made 5K, 10K off of this, but now I'm bored. I realize it's a lot of work. I don't like it because it's something that just feels like, forced. Well, of course it's forced because it's the honeymoon stage. It's not something that is well calculated and well adjusted to and practiced. That's why we have to be intentional. And so I created, and I'm so excited because I feel like, first of all, having a hub where people can check in and unfold and learn and grow with somebody that's a creative and an entrepreneur is fucking amazing. But not only that, to access digital material that allows you to have the support that you need, have programs, things that I basically studied. I am literally investing money and time in so you can cut corners. I want that for you because I feel like everybody wants answers. They're like, I just need the answers. I need something that can make me feel fucking free. Fucking free. I'm tired of the same shit. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of having a boss. I'm tired of attempting something and then not having the fucking residual, the outcome. I want to stick it out with you. So I want to serve you. And I created on my Etsy shop digital material that allows you to unfold what's in you, to stick it out with yourself, to get more intentional, create habits, to really hustle through this and really get all the fucking sources. I want you to come from the initial and just totally retire that shit and become intentional, making that commitment today and investing yourself. And so right now, guys, I'm going to be so glad to be dropping this episode to you because once we drop this episode, I'm going to be doing a special promo for everybody who's listening. I'm going to be doing a discount on my 5-day challenge, which is my Future Me challenge, where it walks through your why, your intentional, why you're doing this, your business plan, everything, what you're doing. And it could be, I have a new release, a song release, and I actually need to go through the steps. I need to get to that place where I feel like it's making sense gradually. I'm not just aimlessly putting out material. I'm not just aimlessly putting out TikToks, hoping that somebody's going to see them and I'm going to go viral. I'm done with that shit. You doing things where you think you're going to get the validation that you want when you could be validated right now. We validate our own parking right now. There's enough room for you. There's enough room for you. Despite your blips, despite your deficits, you think you see in yourself. Use your flaws, use that fire, and transfer it into an intentional behavior. And so it's a 5-day challenge, and I love it because it's transformed my mind completely. The way I'm attracting certain things and they're unfolding. Like I feel like I'm really getting the answers that I want. I'm taking control over my life, and I know that control is all you want right now. You just want control. You just want peace. You just want to be able to say, I have literally a village raising a child. So when I have a venture, when I know that I have a passion project, when I know I need more equipment, I'm building multiple streams of revenue, multiple streams of networks around my fucking business. It's inevitable. It's inevitable to level up. It's impossible not to level up. And so right now, I'm catering to you guys right now. I challenge you. I challenge you. When this podcast stops, when it ends, I want you to go immediately to my Etsy shop. I'm going to be putting it in the description. And I want you to understand, I love the feedback. I want you guys to comment. I want you to subscribe. I want you to follow. I want you to follow the Facebook group. I want you to be so hungry for everything I'm dishing out because I want you to know this is all for you. This is all for you. I ask myself, why am I doing this? I really must fucking care. I must fucking care about your progress. And I need you to care about your progress too. So invest in yourself today, invest in the digital material, and stay tuned with my program. My program is going to be coming up, and that means this is going to give you some support, some really direct ways to building up the marketing around your business, building up the community, the language, the focus, so you can become intentional. And I'm hoping right now you feel like I'm speaking to the creator in you. I hope that there's a couple of notes that are resonating right now, that you feel excited about where you started and where you're heading. So enjoy today, stay creative, and honestly, I hope today you really got in touch with your creator, your inner creative side, and got excited because I'm so excited to continue this journey with you. So stay blessed, guys, and stay tuned for my next episode. I appreciate you all. Take care.